software developers and build custom software solutions. So I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology, teams, and products. So today we're diving into a fascinating topic, AI developers who seem to be on a mission to create God. So buckle up because this is going to be a fun one. So let's start with the big picture. There's a real obsession among some AI developers to create superhuman intelligence. We're talking about AIs that are smarter, faster, and more capable than humans. It's almost as if these developers want to create a digital deity. While this makes for flashy headlines, it misses the point of what AI should really be doing, which is helping humans, not replacing them. Sure, the idea of godlike AI sounds cool, but does anyone really want to live in a sci-fi movie? Spoiler alert, probably not. So let's dive into this topic today. All right, so let's dive into our topic today. So here's the thing. AI should be a tool, not a savior. It's not going to fix the world's problems, and it certainly isn't meant to be an all-knowing entity. And so the reality is AI works best when it's integrated into useful products, enhancing what we already have. Developers need to stop focusing on creating AI gods and start focusing on making products with the AI that people actually want to use. The more we treat AI as an assistant rather than a supreme being, the better off we're going to be. Now, let's talk about where the real power lies, and this is in product development. So AI should be used to enhance existing products, make them smarter, faster, more efficient. If we look at like Mistral AI, they just released Pixtral. And what this is, I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but this is the ability for Mistral to be able to process and analyze images as well as to produce them. So it's a fantastic example of how AI can be integrated into a product and make it better, not take over the world. AI developers should focus on this kind of innovation, not some God complex. So here's a key takeaway from all of this. AI should be a feature, not the whole product. Too many companies are trying to make AI the product, and that's where things start to go off the rails. AI is powerful for sure, but it's not the main event. People want solutions to their problems, not just fancy algorithms. So when AI is used as a feature within a solid product, that's when you get the real value. So the example I like to use here is like Tesla and their FSD. Hard for me to say. So with Tesla, they've built a great car. I have a Tesla and I love it. I love the minimalist approach. I think they're easy to drive. I truly think they're the easiest car in the world to drive. I think they're enjoyable. I love the electric charging, love everything about it. And then they added full self-driving on top of it. It is not the main feature that they're trying to release here. So I think that's a really good example of what we can see here for what we should be doing for how we're trying to design product. Now, the pursuit of creating godlike AI is not only unrealistic, but it's also a distraction. It pulls developers away from what really matters, which is solving actual problems for real users. I mean, what's the point of creating an AI that can think like a human if it doesn't actually help humans? We're putting the cart before the horse here. It's like spending all your time building a rocket ship to Mars when all you really needed was a better car to commute for your daily commute. So focus on what's useful, not trying to play God. So let's take a closer look at Mistral's Pixtral, which is a great example of using AI the right way. This model enhances products with AI-driven features, focusing on multimodal capabilities. This is exactly what AI should be doing, making products more versatile, smarter, and more capable of doing and adapting to users' needs. It's not trying to take over the world, it's just trying to make the product better. Developers should be paying attention to what this needs. Now, one of the best ways you can do that is make sure you check out our previous coding samples, because we have hundreds of free, truly free coding samples. Free open GitHub link, no like emails trying to gather. Just go check out the previous videos and make sure you like and subscribe to our channel here. Now, AI should be seen as a complementary technology, not something that's going to replace human creativity and ingenuity. Sure, AI can help automate tasks and analyze data faster than a human could, but it's the human touch that drives real innovation and creativity. Developers who think AI is going to replace everything are missing the point. And this also goes for executives as well. The magic happens when humans and AI work together. It's like having a supercharged assistant, not a boss from the future. Now let's shift to the product developers. This is where the real change happened. Developers who integrate AI thoughtfully into their products are the ones who lead the way, that are leading the way here. Instead of trying to build an AI overload by just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, they're using smaller models and trying to use them to solve very real world problems. This is where AI shines, when it's used to make life easier for the user. Developers need to stop chasing the fantasy and start building products that people actually want to find, that people find useful. Now, another thing to keep in mind is AI is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Just because AI works well in one product doesn't mean it's the answer to every problem. Developers need to be selective about where and how they implement AI. Use it where it adds real value, not just because of the buzzwords. It's the buzzword of the decade. There's no point in shoehorning AI into places where it doesn't belong. So also make sure you go check out our previous videos, because we love to train software developers here, and we have hundreds of free coding samples. Now, during the time that I've written these notes, it's been about a week, and since then I've actually had there's actually been a lot of other meaningful releases. So I want to kind of dive through some of these reports here. So I liked this report here that was talking about things that you should build with AI. And this guy actually, and this is a great article, and I'll leave all the links down below, because I love when you guys leave comments, love when you guys are watching my videos, and especially love when you guys leave comments here. So this guy analyzed over 400 YC startups, right? And he went through these YC startups to try to find out what people were building with AI. So as he analyzed these 400 startups, like, he was trying to find the hottest industries and sectors for AI startups. He was also trying to find areas that were obviously ripe for AI disruption. And so as he went through looking to this, like, if you're familiar with how YC Combinator works, Y Combinator invests $500,000 into each startup accepted into their 3-month program in exchange for a small equity stake. The program aims to help startups dramatically improve their product and user growth, as well as increase their options for raising additional data. Now, he analyzed 417 different AI-focused startups, and this is what he found. 10% of them were using healthcare or biotech. We're trying to build for that industry. The other 9% was for fintech, 8.9% for developer tools, 8.2% for sales and marketing, and 4% for education. Now, I know the developer tools and sales and marketing you can develop and deploy pretty quickly, because developers are pretty patient with trying to figure things out, and marketing you can try right away, right? There's a lot of movement in marketing that you can try those tools right away. Fintech and healthcare are probably a longer pull, but altogether these are adding up to roughly a little over 40%. Or right around 40% when you add all of these 5 up here, these main 5, right? And so when you look at about these top 45%, it's really around this space. So if you're in this space, you should definitely be considering how you could be using AI in your programs. Now, also recently, OpenAI announced the release of OpenAI O1, a new large language model trained with reinforcement learning to perform complex reasoning. So they're trying to produce longer internal chain of thought before responding to the user, right? So this is trying to get around some of the problems that we've seen with various parts, right? Trying to really go in after math, after competition code, PhD level science questions, and some of these other things, right? And so these are where they're really trying to drive this to see how much they can get to reasoning, right? So some of the original takes on these, and I'll put all of these links down below. Some of the original takes to these is that they really is trained for a chain of thought. So as we are working on this, we can find that they are that they're ready to, that they're really improving on some of these lines. Now, one of the other parts here is overall capital expenditure. You can see between Meta, Alphabet, Microsoft, and Amazon. This is $52 billion combined just in this last quarter, which is absolutely crazy. Now, the AI race is continuing to go on as these guys invest more and more, and nearly a third of the dollars of VC dollars are going into AI. So one last quote here, and then as I wrap this up, the skepticism around this by Michael Dell. So a guy who's definitely seen definitely a long history of interesting developments. The skepticism around AI's ROI today feels a lot like the doubts people had about the internet in its early days. Back then, no one could fully grasp how much the web would transform our lives, and now AI is on the same path. Yes, it might be tough to measure immediate returns, but if history teaches us anything, it's that game-changing technologies take time to show their true impact. By embracing AI, we're not just adopting a tool, we're investing in a future where human potential gets a major boost and the new opportunities are unlocked. So just like the internet became the foundation of our digital world, AI has potential to do the same when we approach it with the same optimism, right? We got to listen to Yoda here. We must have patience. Now, the other part that I wanted to highlight here is that I think we're starting to hit this point where we're hitting this trough of disillusion. A lot of people are getting tired of hearing about AI this, AI that. And that's because, again, it's probably been overused. So we will see this trough out and then come back up and level out over time. And I think that's a really important note. So I want to wrap up here just with a couple more thoughts and then just to quickly wrap up here. So it's time for a reality check. AI is great, but the hype train needs to slow down a little bit. Every other day, there's a new headline about how AI is going to change the world, but let's pump the brakes a little bit. AI has been incredible potential, but it's not a magic bullet. So we need to focus on how AI can improve things. So just like any tool out there, AI has its limitations. It's not going to solve every problem. It's certainly not going to replace humans entirely. So as I've told my developers over and over again, AI is not going to replace you, but a developer who knows how to use AI might. So AI developers need to stop focusing on the short-term gains, think long-term, not going for bigger, taking these smaller language models and plug them in. Now, what do you think? I'd love to get your comments, so leave your comment down below. Here at StartupHakk, we love to train software developers in our coding boot camps, as well as build custom software solutions for companies. So if there's any way we can help you, make sure you reach out, and we will catch you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because we bring you lots of great tutorials and tips that every developer should know. See you next time.